All right, YouTube. So the video down below is from CNN. They're talking about how Paul Manafort's legal team and the Mueller special counsel, they've reached a plea agreement. So it's just CNN trying to fill some airtime. And, I guess they're still trying to convince people that Trump is somehow involved with this, even though he's not a criminal target of Mueller. So I don't know. It's just it's a nothing burger, I guess. Here's the thing, though. I just want to go ahead and have a little rant here. A little rant time. I look at it this way, like with CNN, they criticize Trump on like very stupid shit. So like, oh, he's a sexist, he's a racist, his policies are like Hitler's. The laundry list. It goes on, but they never criticize him on the Syria bombings or anything like that. It's preposterous, and it's not even just CNN, it's MSNBC. So the neocon over there, the in-house neocon, Joe Scarborough. I mean, they're all neocons over there at MSNBC. Like most progressives I know, they can't stand MSNBC. Even though I know some people are like, oh yeah, I'm watching Rachel right now. You know what I mean? Like those type of people. Anyways, it's the same thing over there with Joe Scarborough. Excuse me, Joe Scarborough. He's like, this was like a few months back. Trump was thinking about sending some National Guard troops down to the border, the southern border. And Joe Scarborough was like, Trump's fighting his imaginary war down there when he could be fighting a real war over there, referring to Syria at the time. And look, I mean, the legacy media is lousy with these types of people, the neocons, and they're on both sides too. They're the Democrats and the Republicans, and most times they're really critical of Trump when he's trying to do the diplomatic thing, like when he was negotiating for peace over there in Korea, or excuse me, Singapore, and which was just magnificent. It was just one of the greatest moments that I've ever witnessed in political history. I mean, it was a very groundbreaking moment, especially making a bridge between one of the leaders, or the leader of the North Korean people with the leader of the free world. It was pretty incredible. But anyways, all these people are saying like, oh, Trump's giving up too much, he's getting played by Kim, just of that variety. And yeah, it's just total neocon rhetoric coming from these legacy media outlets. So yeah, they really should be, and they're not going to be. They're not going to be critical of Trump when he bombs Syria or continues wars overseas with like Yemen and Nigeria. It's just all over the place. It's totally insane. We have no reason to be over there except to influence the government and the markets over there. That's all we. I mean, it's like the British Empire in a lot of ways. So I don't know, but just to kind of put a bow on it, I really like Trump. I think he's doing a pretty good job. Like I said, I'm very critical of him when he does things like bomb Syria, or just kind of continue the Zionist, the military-industrial complex agendas. There's a lot of people behind him that don't have America's best interests at heart. So, and I think he knows this too. And I don't think it's as bad as the book, Bob Woodward's book, made it out to be. And I think that New York Times op-ed, it was probably written by one of the staff writers, honestly. And some people were saying, "Oh, it's Sarah Jeong," and or Sarah DeJong, I think is how you say her name. But yeah, I think he's got an inner circle within the White House, but I don't think it's like shrinking and shrinking. And Dana Perino had Bob Woodward on her show, and I watched it live. And this guy comes on, Bob Woodward, one of Carl Bernstein's butt buddies, but I think anyways, he was talking about how Trump's circle is getting smaller, and then Dana Perino comes out and was like, "Oh, my source in the White House, who's really a good source, says that Trump is very unhappy with the job that Chief of Staff John Kelly is doing, because John Kelly is a very important he has a very important role in the White House." And I'm thinking, like, that just sounds like total bullshit, because he's been doing a fantastic job. And I don't know if this is really a good example, but when he came out, he was responding to Representative Frederica Wilson's comments about Trump, like, hanging up or something. Or no, he said some, she basically was listening in to a conversation that Trump was having on the phone, and like took his comments out of context, or shared details about the conversation that he was making with a family who's and the woman that was on the phone, her husband was a Green Beret that died in Niger. And he was calling, and he said something along the lines of, "Oh, he knew what he was signing up for, or he died out there." So, anyways, Frederica Wilson says, obviously he's being insensitive to him, or his wife, because he's black, and excuse me. It's just total bullshit, obviously. So, anyways, John Kelly comes out and he responds. He's like, he just talks about the actual process of going through and with the whole death of a soldier. So basically, it's an amazing press conference. I really recommend you check it out. Mark Dice has that video on his channel, so I really recommend you check it out. Anyway, so he's responding to Frederica Wilson. He's talking about the whole process, and it's like, Reince Priebus couldn't have gone out there and made the same kind of speech. But anyways, it might be a good example, because for me it was like a really good demonstration of his confidence and his leadership, like how his confidence basically could be applied to his leadership within the White House. And I'm thinking, like, Trump would be unhappy with this guy? That's bullshit. He seems to have his head screwed on pretty tight there. So John Kelly and both of them, I mean, they're really smart people in the White House. Anyways, going back to the original point, the inner circle for Trump, I don't think it's getting smaller. I think he's actually got a pretty strong circle there. I would go ahead and say that the biggest threats within the White House are probably Jared Kushner, Nikki Haley, John Bolton. The Skull and Bones guys too, like Stephen Mnuchin, Wilbur Ross. There's just some shady characters there, obviously. I'm sure some people have some iffy feelings about Betsy DeVos, like very strong feelings. Jeff Sessions, I mean, he's either stealthy Jeff or he's just a total, useless Keebler elf. It's just kind of a stale meme at this point. All right, that was a pretty good take. I'm going to end it on that. But yeah, there's just when CNN, when MSNBC, the legacy media could be criticizing Trump on valid issues, they don't. They cheer him on when he talks about gun control. It's just bullshit. All right, guys. God bless. Thank you for watching. More news to come.